It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling bringing the It's Wrestling Time post show. And for tonight, I will be reviewing both AEW Rampage and Friday Night Smackdown. But let's start with AEW Rampage. Alright, so tonight's Rampage was actually on a special start time at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it kicked off with the Death Triangle versus Marq, Quen, Butcher, and the Blade from AFO. Alright, so this is not a bad match. I think my favorite spot in this match was when Marq, Quen, copying Penta, was like, Cero, miedo. He was taunting him while he was attacking Rey Fénix. I don't know about you guys, maybe it's just a Power Rangers fan in me, but Marq Quen's outfit kind of reminds me of the red Samurai Ranger from Power Rangers Samurai. Again, it's just a Power Ranger fan in me. Alright, so at one point, Marq Quen took out Pac and Penta on the outside, and poor little Rey Fénix was left alone. Another spot that I liked in this match, well, actually, it wasn't really a spot in the match, but I liked that Kyle O'Reilly was like watching the match and he was taking notes. As someone who watches wrestling and take notes, I understand Kyle O'Reilly. As we all know, he is going to take on Rey Fénix in the semifinals of the... No, he's going to take on Rey Fénix in the quarterfinals of the Owen Hart tournament. So, should be a good match. All right. So, at one point, there was a snap German suplex to Marq Quen by Pac. And he broke the pin by putting his feet on the rope. I really like the double dives to the Butcher and the Blade that the Lucha Brothers did to them. And then, of course, Pac then hit the Black Arrow to Marq Quen, allowing the Death Triangle to be victorious. And at the end of the match, the lights turned off, House of Black appeared, they stared down that triangle, and then the lights went off again, and then they disappeared. So for me... So I'm really curious to see the feud that would exist between the Death Triangle and House of Black. I think it would make for a really good feud. I'm really excited about that, honestly. And with the trios titles coming, I wonder who would be the first trios champion. All right, so then we get Shawn Spears versus Bear Boulder. I really like that Shawn Spears went like that to Bear Boulder, signifying he's 10, or like how he was known at WWE. He was Ty Dillinger, the perfect 10. So I really like that. I thought it was hilarious. Oh my god. Shawn Spears has amazing strength. He's able to pick up, Michael 101591 says, Death Triangle will be first trios champions. Yeah, seems like it. Shawn Spears has incredible strength. Like, he picked up Bear Boulder like nothing. Then again, he did give him a thumb to the eye. So at the end, he sent a message to Wardlow when he hit him with the steel chair, when he got the steel chair and whacked Bear Boulder with it. So I honestly think Wardlow's going to destroy Shawn Spears. Then we get a Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling segment. Smart saying that he's not a wrestler. He doesn't even own a pair of tights. He said, Tony Nese said that he can beat Hookhausen all by himself, and he wants Mark Sterling to put 10K on them. I don't know about you guys, but I personally would not put 10K on Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. I honestly don't think they're going to win. I think the debut of Hookhausen is going to win this tag team match at the buy-in. Oh my god. Okay, so then we got the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament quarterfinals. It's Ruby Soho versus Riho. Oh my god. Good match. Like, really, I like the fact that they shook hands right before the start of the match. I do apologize for that. This was a good match. I feel like they will be losing that 10K. Yeah, they are. Yep, they are. I would not bet against Hookhausen, that's for sure. I like how, like, towards the end, Ruby Soho dominated Riho. I mean, I feel like they were evenly matched. It was a combination of strikes that eventually did Riho in, and Ruby Soho won, and it looked like they bowed to each other. So good match. We need more, and they were given ample time too. It wasn't just like a 5-minute match. They were given plenty of time, and that's good. We need more of that on AEW, not just on Rampage, but on Dynamite too. We need the women to be given time. Like what they did last week on Rampage was fantastic. We had 2 great women's matches, and everybody had equal time to shine. That is what we need. Oh my god. Let me see. Awesome. Michael 101591 saying, awesome match. It was from Ruby and Riho. I would love to see Ruby move on and win. I definitely would. For the women's, it's kind of hard for me to say who's going to win this because I really don't know. I guess we have to wait and see who the final 2 are for me to pinpoint someone. Then we had a Gunn Club segment. Oh my god. I thought this was so hilarious. You had Austin and Colt. Because okay, Billy Gunn was saying that they need a team gesture. Austin and Colton were like, why don't we go like this and then go and Billy Gunn was like, no, that's not going to work. And then that referring to the DX chop. And then oh my god. And then Colton and Austin suggested the DX catchphrase, but Billy Gunn was like, that's not gonna get over. And he was taking suggestions from the Acclaim. He was like, yo, listen. And Billy Gunn says he got them a match on AEW Dark on Monday. Oh my god. That just segment was so hilarious. I love the fact that they were referencing DX and that Billy Gunn was like, that's not gonna get over. Funny but stupid segment at the same time. Hey, we're all entitled to your opinion. Oh my god, that was hilarious. So Jade Cargill, and then we had the Jade Cargill and Baddies segment. They basically said that they basically said Sheeta was injured in the Philly street fight against Serena Deeb and won't be able to compete against Red Velvet. Is that true? Let me see. Austin and Colton should have gone to WWE if they were referencing DX. They should have started a new DX. With who though? I mean, Triple H is retired. Shawn Michaels is retired. I don't know who they would have started an DX with, but good suggestion. So, are there any? I haven't heard any reports on this. I don't know if anybody in the chat has or anybody watching this has, but they said AEW keeps saying that Sheeta got injured in the Philly street fight. Is that true? Because then I also heard that she's wrestling in Japan. I haven't heard anything about this, but I'm curious to see if she is legitimately injured or if this is all just kayfabe. So Charlotte. So Jade Cargill thinks it's a great idea that Sheeta can compete, and Mark Sterling says that Red Velvet should move on automatically. Michael 101591 saying she did get injured. I heard, yeah, but is it so? It's like a legit injury. It's not like a kayfabe. She's really injured. Because I would have thought that a report would have came out by now, but I haven't heard anything. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I was questioning: is this like legit, or is this like they're just trying to write her off because maybe she needs to do something in Japan? I don't know. So Tony Schiavone says that's not going to happen, and Red Velvet's new opponent is her longtime friend Chris Statlander. So I was actually really looking forward to Sheeta versus Red Velvet, but I think Chris Statlander versus Red Velvet is going to be just as equally as good. So the main event was Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. But before we get into that, Scorpio Sky made it. Okay, Ethan Page said it was a stupid question and says that the champ is always ready to defend his title because Scorpio Sky was asked if he was ready to defend his title. Michael 101 says they won't inform us on her injury. Yeah, seems like it because, they would have said there would have been a report out by now. And then Ethan Page questions why Kazarian was given a title shot in the first place. And so Scorpio Sky says that he's the face of the TNT title and they need to get used to it. And Sky basically says that he wants Dan Lambert and Ethan Page to stay in the back. So the main event is a TNT championship match. It's Scorpio Sky versus Frankie Kazarian. Wow. This was an incredible main event. Like, super incredible. The crowd starts chanting, SCU. And we are reminded that on October 3rd, 2019, SCU defeated the Lucha Brothers to become the first tag team champions in AEW history. So, they are coming to California, to SoCal, for the first time ever in June. It's a fallout from AEW Double or Nothing. So I'm very curious to see if we're going to have an SCU reunion. The Ontario show, they can leave that for the Bucks, because the Bucks are from that area. But I wonder, where is Christopher Daniels in all of this? Seriously, are we going to get a reunion? Are we going to get a three-way match? Oh my God, the possibilities are endless. I really want to see a SCU reunion. Okay, great match from them. Very physical. Yeah, I definitely do agree. I mean, did you see that hip toss that Frankie Kazarian did to Scorpio Sky, and then he put him in a short arm scissor? I really like when Scorpio Sky bounced from the rope and Frankie Kazarian hit him with the cutter. Scorpio Sky kept countering the crossface chicken wing. And then at one point, Kazarian did push Sky in the crossface chicken wing, but he failed to lock it. He couldn't lock it. And then out of nowhere, Dan Lambert comes out, distracts the referee. Now, mind you, Frankie Kazarian has Scorpio Sky in a hold. He has him in a hold. Looks like he's about to pass out. So Dan Lambert comes out, distracts the referee. Ethan Page then hits Frankie Kazarian with the title, but it's not enough. Frankie Kazarian still kicks out. And then Scorpio Sky hits him with the TKO, and he successfully retains his title. Very good match, honestly, I have to say. Very good. Then Sky acts like he gets mad at Ethan Page and Dan Lambert for getting involved, and he says, Ethan Page says that he did this for the team, and he asks Sky whose team is he on. Then he hits Frankie Kazarian with the title. Talk about the big swerve. I honestly legit believe Scorpio Sky was really wanted to have a good, clean finish match with his longtime friend Frankie Kazarian, but I guess not. And then Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti entered the ring, and the Men of the Year leave, and that is how Rampage ends. They swerved us on Sky turning on Page. Yeah, they did. I really thought Scorpio Sky was going to turn on Ethan Page, possibly reunite with Frankie Kazarian. Like I said, would like to see an SCU reunion, but that might not happen. But overall, great show. Rampage was amazing, top to bottom. If I have to rank Rampage, it would be, let me see, Rampage, Michael 101 says 7 out of 10. Skip Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler down. Are you ready for a snore time? And then get ready for a snore night. Actually, I do have to cover Friday Night Smackdown. Why did you think it was a 7 out of 10? Actually, I liked tonight's Rampage. I really did. But I have to. If the one thing I have to say, I feel like Marq, going back to the opening match, Marq, Quen, Butcher, and the Blade. I feel they're kind of in limbo. They're kind of not limbo, but directionless. They're not really doing anything, especially because Andrade is probably gonna take time off to go get married. So what's gonna happen to AFO? Seriously. So, but with that being said, taking everything into consideration, the matches, the segments. There's not really nothing I disliked about it. I thought it was a good show. So I'm going to go ahead and rate tonight's Rampage a perfect 10, a Ty Dillinger. Because like I said, I enjoyed this Rampage top to bottom. Not one thing I disliked. AFO might as well be off TV. Yeah, so true. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite Friday night show. Friday Night Smackdown. Oh my God. Okay. So Friday Night Smackdown kicked off with an RKBro segment. Remind you, they did say they were going to come to Friday Night Smackdown, in case y'all forgot. Of course, Randy Orton welcomes everybody to Friday Night Smackdown. I've noticed that every time somebody opens a show, they always say, welcome to, they're either Monday Night Raw or Friday Night Smackdown. Seems like that seems to be a standard now. RKBro say that they're excited to be here tonight and are sick and tired of the chase. Roman is the only person who makes decisions in the bloodline, they were saying. Riddle says that he thought they had the match at WrestleMania Backlash, but the Reigns hit him with the spear, and whenever the Usos can't handle business, Roman has to handle it for them. The tribal chief, the moment maker, whatever he wants to call himself, Randy Orton basically calls him out, but instead of Roman coming out, guess it comes out Sami Zayn, who says that you can't just snap your fingers and summon Roman Reigns. He's gonna address RK-Bro on behalf of the bloodline. He says he speaks for the entire WWE universe and the bloodline that nobody wants to see this unification match. And if it happens, RK-Bro will lose and they have a good thing going on. And the crowd starts chanting Sami sucks. And Sami Zayn suggests that RK-Bro go back to Raw and not come back. So before I continue any further, I have to say, I did want to see that championship unification match. I really did. And I wanted it to happen at WrestleMania Backlash. But then when you swerved us and you made it a 6-man tag match, I could care less. And honestly, like, I'll talk more about that when I get to the ending segment. Okay. So then Riddle calls Sami Zayn Rusty. And Sami Zayn, his name is Sami Zayn, and he's the locker room leader, and he's the last person. He says the last person who disrespected the bloodline was Nakamura, and he personally handled it. Randy Orton says Sami Zayn is making calls and getting things done, and is a vital part of SmackDown. Is a shot caller, and he says that if the match is going to happen, then if Riddle beats Sami Zayn, then RK-Bro gets a title unification match. So I have to stop there and say, where is the logic in that? So just because Sami Zayn is speaking on behalf of the bloodline, all of a sudden, if Matt Riddle defeats Sami Zayn, RK-Bro gets a championship unification match. Where's the logic in that? Where? I don't know. And if I try to understand their logic, I'm going to get a headache. Okay, so then Sami Zayn agrees, and he says it might not happen tonight, but he'll have to run things through with Paul Heyman, and then Adam Pearce comes out and makes a match between Sami Zayn and Riddle, but there's nothing at stake. It's just a match. So then this Michael 10159 says there is no logic in WWE. Yeah, that's true. No logic whatsoever. This kicks off the opening match. It's Riddle versus Sami Zayn. It was not a bad match. I actually kind of did enjoy this match. I really like that Sami Zayn was wearing a bloodline shirt to top it off. I really thought it was hilarious. My favorite spot in this match is when Sami Zayn mocked Orton when he had Matt Riddle in between the ropes and it looked like he was gonna hit him. He was gonna hit the DDT to him in front of Randy. I really like that. That was funny. But unfortunately for Sami Zayn, Matt Riddle countered. And then he hit Sami with the DDT. Sami Zayn sent Matt Riddle to the timekeeper's area, mimicking how he beat Nakamura last week, sending him to the timekeeper's area. But unlike Nakamura, Matt Riddle actually made it before the count of 10. And he hit him with the Bro Derek and ended up winning this match. Awesome match between Riddle and Sami had. Yeah, I definitely do agree. It was a great match. And I think that's the first time they've ever had a singles match, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the first time. So then we get a backstage segment with Nakamura and Zayn basically saying Nakamura is saying that Sami Zayn is not the head of the table. He's the table's, Then it cuts to the bloodline who says that he wonders why Roman says he wonders why RK-Bro is even on his show, and the Usos say that they're going to take care of RK-Bro tonight. Then we get a Ronda Rousey segment who says that Shirley was a 13-time champion. An impressive statistic, if you ask me. She says that she has a title now and that Shirley has been one of the toughest competitors she's ever fought, and she would die before she uttered the words, "I quit," and she's going to be a fighting champion, and she issues an open challenge. Raquel Rodriguez answers the challenge. You could see the height difference between both of them. And I like how that she speaks Spanish and English, so that's just, I think that's pretty cool. I love that. I love when they let Latino wrestlers do that. She says that Ronda, she calls her Ronda my champion. She accepts the challenge and it will be honored to step into the ring with her. So this leads to a SmackDown Women's Championship match between Ronda Rousey and Raquel Rodriguez. I have to say, I really do. I don't really watch NXT 2.0. But I know who Raquel Rodriguez is. I know she used to be Raquel Gonzalez. I'm somewhat familiar with her work. I am. So I have to say, Raquel Rodriguez looked impressive in this match. She really did. She dominated Ronda Rousey. I didn't think she was going to win, but she looked absolutely phenomenal in this match. Like, extremely dominant, and good on WWE for doing that. Like I said, I knew she was going to lose though. Ronda Rousey with a knee to the face of Raquel. And commentary makes some interesting comments saying that most of the WWE universe didn't know who Raquel Rodriguez is. Yeah, maybe it's because a lot of people don't watch NXT 2.0. Smiley Raquel, she constantly smiles after every move she did. Really, I didn't notice that. Next time she wrestles, I gotta pay attention to that. So, of course, Ronda Rousey wins. But like I said, one of the things I really liked about this match, the fact that Raquel was extremely dominant. She looked really good in this match. And I hope they continue to make her look good. As far as the open challenge is concerned, like, hey, great. We need a fighting champion. There's hardly any women or any viable contenders in the SmackDown women's locker room, though. So at the end of the match, Ronda and Raquel do shake hands, and then it cuts to the back where Shotzi's talking to Adam Pearce, claiming that Raquel beat her to the ring. Aaliyah says Shotzi locked her in the back, and it's just a mess because didn't Shotzi say I quit when Ronda put her in that submission? And Aaliyah, what happened to her Aaliyah 317 gimmick? Where the hell is Xia Li? Seriously, where the hell is she? And then, not to mention, Lacey Evans got moved to Raw, so it's not a deep pool. So Madcap Moss, then we get a Madcap Moss segment, who says that by far this is the biggest victory of his career. Baron Corbin is powerful, physically imposing, and wears someone down with his terrible personality. Michael 10159 says Xia Li will be on the next set of releases. Yeah, she probably will be. He says that if Corbin told another story about how much his watch cost, he would have tapped out of boredom. This next part that he says, I have to admit, is pretty funny. He said he had to shield his eyes from the glare coming from Corbin's head. I thought that was hilarious. I laughed. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed to that. See, when Madcap Moss doesn't intentionally mean to be funny, he sometimes is funny. And says that his career is just beginning. He wants to form a mixed tag team with Sasha Banks and call it Madcap Boss. Will we be getting another match with Moss and Corbin? Yay, rolls eyes. He says that he wants to climb the ladder, grab the Money in the Bank briefcase, replace the title belts with title suspenders. Speaking of Money in the Bank, I'm still debating as to whether or not I'm going to go to Money in the Bank. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. And then after he says title suspenders, Baron Corbin attacks him with the chair. He puts the chair around his neck, his throat, and then slams the trophy around Madcap Moss's throat, and then he gets wheeled away into a stretcher. So I wonder if Madcap Moss is going to be ridden off TV or something, because usually when they take someone out on a stretcher, it just means that they're getting ridden off TV. So maybe he's going to be gone for a couple weeks. Maybe they're going to repackage him. I just hope when he comes back, if he's getting ridden out, they don't have him continue the feud with Baron Corbin. We got to move on, people. Seriously. I don't need to see that feud anymore. Then we had the women's tag team title match. It's Shayna Baszler and Nattie versus Sasha Banks and Naomi, which was not a bad match. I have to say, not a bad match. But it's just that WWE over the last couple weeks has not made me care at all about the women's tag titles. They have not. So, of course, Shayna and Nattie tried to cheat. Shayna put her feet on the rope at one point. Nattie held her feet for her. The ref caught them. Even Shayna pushed the rope to Nattie so that she can break the hold. Nattie did put Naomi in the sharpshooter, and then she got the roll up. And Naomi and Sasha Banks retained their tag titles. So, again, it wasn't a bad match. Unfortunately, WWE has done a horrible job at making me care about this match. Then we get a backstage segment with Drew Gulak, and I don't know why Ricochet is in this backstage segment. He's the Intercontinental Champion, and that title, on top of the fact that it wasn't defended at WrestleMania, it wasn't even defended at WrestleMania Backlash. When was the last time I don't even remember when was the last time the Intercontinental title got defended on a pay-per-view. So basically, long story short, Drew Gulak is saying that the next time he runs into Gunther, he's going to give him a piece of his mind. He does run into Gunther, but that doesn't go according to plan, as Gunther does a chest chop while Drew Gulak is pressed against the door, and that looked like it hurt. On a random episode of SmackDown, oh yeah, that's right, against Shanky, right? Yeah, now I remember. When was the last time it was defended on pay-per-view, though? I don't recall. Then we had Kofi Kingston versus Butch. And honestly, I'm just over this feud. How many more combinations of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Fight Night do we need to see? I think we've seen every freaking combination that there is. We've seen Kofi Kingston versus Butch, Kofi Kingston versus Rich Holland, Xavier Woods versus Rich Holland, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Rich Holland and Sheamus. We've seen every freaking possible combination of this feud. I'm tired of this feud. May I remind people, Rich Holland is the reason Big E is not part of SmackDown anymore, because homeboy broke his neck. Well, injured his neck. So I'm just over this feud. Match wasn't bad. And Butch actually ended up winning. How many more times are we going to see this match or a combination of this match? I'm just tired of this feud, of this match. Can we move on? Can we? Is that too much to ask for? Okay, then we get Paul Heyman and a Sami Zayn segment. Sami Zayn just basically says that he wants to make sure his relationship with the Bloodline is good and just wants his respect back and wants to make sure that Reigns isn't mad at him. And Heyman says that Reigns appreciates him. So Sami Zayn's doing a really good job in his role. He had a match, and then he had 2 backstage segments, one with Nakamura and now one with Paul Heyman. So it's pretty clear that WWE has faith in Sami Zayn to do his role. And yeah, I really like Sami Zayn in the role, actually. All right. So then the main event, actually, when you think about it, the main event was Butch versus Kofi Kingston, because the last segment was the Bloodline segment. It's basically the same old shit. You got Roman coming out, asking people to acknowledge him. He says that he smashed Cena, came out, told him what was next. Smashed Lesnar, came out and said what was next. Last Sunday, they smashed McIntyre and RK-Bro. He says no one is left. People are scared to step to him. There's no one left to challenge him. Things are getting interesting for the Usos, and that there's a challenge for them. The question is, what are they going to do about it? RK-Bro interrupts. Orton says that Cena's 10 times the superstar Reigns will ever be. Riddle says, I did think this was funny, where Riddle says he likes to turn off the lights, and, Randy had to interrupt him because he didn't know where he was going, but Riddle did say he liked to grab his headphones and watch old matches. He said he was watching their match from WrestleMania Backlash. And then Orton starts to speak very slowly so that the Usos can understand him, and that he basically says that they're going to be the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. Jimmy accepts the challenge, and so does Jay, who says it's not going to happen tonight, but next week. And then Riddle knees Roman in the face, which I thought was pretty cool. But I have to say, I don't know at this point if the match is actually going to happen, because knowing WWE, one of 2 things is going to happen. No, actually, no, one of 3 things is going to happen. Either A, the match will happen and we'll have a DQ screwy finish, meaning that we're going to eventually get the match again, probably in Hell in the Cell. That's the next pay-per-view. 2, the match gets interrupted, and then we get another 6-man tag match player, holla. Or 3, they're just going to forget about it, and it's not going to happen, and then it'll happen the following week. So what do you guys think is going to happen? Screwy finish, random 6-man tag match, or the match is not going to happen? I like to think option A. We're going to get a screwy finish, and we're going to have a match again. Honestly, kind of the unification match will not take place next week. I bet another tease by WWE. Yeah, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. Remember, there wasn't a contract signing for this, so who knows if it even happens, right? So, when was the last time Roman Reigns wrestled on SmackDown? Because I don't remember, and I don't want to go through my notes, but I'm going to have to. Last week, he didn't even wrestle. It was just a random talking segment. This week, another talking segment. So, Roman's just going to be... Why are they having it next week? They couldn't wait till Hell in a Cell. I'm telling you, screwy finish, Michael. It's going to be a screwy finish, and then we're going to get it at Hell in a Cell. Or worse, it's not going to be a screwy finish. Whoever wins, and then the rematch is going to happen at Hell in a Cell. So let me pull up the article here, people. I don't know if you guys have heard, but according to Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer, he says that Roman has recently signed a new deal that includes a lighter schedule. He says it's not it for him, but the situation is that he got a new deal, and the new deal is far less dates. I don't know how many house shows he's going to be doing, but it will be much less than the number he's doing now. It's one of those perks of being there for a while and being valuable. There is you can kind of call certain shots, and he's got the power to maintain championships and work fewer dates like Brock Lesnar had and Hulk Hogan used to have. So he's basically on a Brock Lesnar schedule. And if you guys notice, they removed They removed Roman Reigns from the Hell in a Cell poster. He was on Hell in a Cell. And now you know who's on Hell in a Cell poster? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is on the Hell in a Cell poster. Mind you, I feel like Cody Rhodes deserves this. He deserves to be front and center on those posters. WWE is in trouble with Roman signing that limited days contract. They will be scrambling to make someone the new Roman. No, they're not trying to make someone the new Roman. Well, let me rephrase that. They're not scrambling. It's clear. I've said this before. It's clear they see Austin Theory as their new guy. So he's probably the next to get that rocket ship strapped to him. But what's going to happen to the undisputed title? So, okay, Roman's not going to work Hell in a Cell. So neither the Universal title or the WWE Championship is going to be defended on Hell in a Cell. SmackDown's a 1 out of 10 awful boring show. So then what's going to be the main event? Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes 3. That's going to be the main event. So what's going to be at stake? Honestly. So no more title defenses until what? SummerSlam? So this is what happens when you put all your eggs in one basket. You could have had 2 separate champions. And you want to give Roman time off? Fine. Go ahead, give him time off. But you still have a title that means something. Nope. Now Roman's going to be holding the titles hostage. WWE did this to themselves. They wanted to push Roman to the moon. And now he has a lighter schedule. And now this is going to happen. They will be unifying the titles. Cody will take either the WWE Championship and the Universal title will go back to SmackDown. I think so too. I think Cody Rhodes is going to probably take the WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes should win Money in the Bank and then cash in on Roman. That's what I think. But with that being said, tonight's show wasn't bad. Wasn't great. Compared to the normal SmackDown we get, it was not bad. I really did enjoy the Riddle versus Sami Zayn match. I enjoyed the SmackDown women's match over Madcap Moss. He's not a bad wrestler, but that gimmick does nothing for him. The women's tag team title match wasn't bad either. Really digging Sami Zayn. The Bloodline segment, same old. I'm over Kofi, Kingston, and Butch. So with that being said, I'm going to be generous here, and I'm going to give SmackDown a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a decent show. Good stuff, bad stuff, but hey, it is what it is. Compared to last week, this was a much better show. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for your continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video, and I'll see you guys on Monday after Monday Night Raw. Bye.